knew that never knew that they I didn't think they were real. Never knew all the details about how many there are all through time itself, all the way back into the day, and have been on every continent. Never knew the important stuff about how fast they're created and how the crop does not even break. It's just delicately bent over. All these intricate
Laid
details
down
which
like a lady.
yes, laid down like a lady. All these intricate details in which Ronnie actually has found some other really fascinating ones. But all of these things have really, man, learning these have changed my mind. This is why we started talking a while ago, me and Ronnie, about doing
Sorry
this.
to interrupt you. You mentioned the crop circle hoaxers, which were Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley.
There you go. From England, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and so those were some famous crop circles were actually
80s.
In the 80s, that's correct. And so I remember, like, crop circles were something that were seeming to be like, wow, what are these weird things? And then if you didn't bother to look into the subject, the one thing that most people heard was these two guys come out and say, we've been making them. You know, it was just us, and we take this long wooden plank, and then we just snap the crops in half.
Well, it wasn't just a plank. It was supposedly an intricate system of planks and rope ties.
Yeah. I don't know how intricate it was because they showed videos of how they supposedly did it, and it's a wooden plank with two ropes that they hold onto so they can step down onto it.
Super intricate.
Okay, and then
I think I made that in wood shop in like 6th grade.
Yes, and so here's another thing. When asked, first off, you showed us the ones you said you made, and you have proven video of how you make them, showing us, and yours look just rudimentary, as
just
simple
crude.
as can be, crude. They are not anything close to these absolutely intricate, shaded designs.
They don't follow the...
They don't have meanings or messages
no
to them.
meanings,
They're
no
just
messages.
designs as well.
It is just random designs.
It's not math in there.
Yeah, what is that? It's the Pythagorean theorem, right? That does the circles? No, that's wrong. Is that wrong?
I don't know. I don't know what... That's more a you thing, though, knowing what Pythagorean theorem... To me, and my friends growing up, we always just called that Pythagorean. There.
Fascinating.
Right.
No, it's the theory that everything in life, it's the perfect circle. It kind of looks like a seashell.
Okay, I do know the concept here. I just didn't know the name so much.
I don't think it's Pythagorean theorem. I don't think so.
Okay, that's a funny word nonetheless. But well, while you're looking this up, theirs was crude. All this stuff, right? They didn't have mathematical meaning to them, and they're just very crude. They're simple. They're not abstract. They're not
logarithmic
large.
spirals.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And also, how about this?
Also known as the Fibonacci sequence. That's what it was.
Oh, it's the Fibonacci.
Yes.
Yes.
They're making the circles.
Hey, making the circles, a Fibonacci. But also, when asked, okay, so look at when you do your little rudimentary, crude-looking circles that are nothing like these other intricate designs that are made overnight, in your videos of you guys showing how you make these, you literally leave footprints, and there's footprints that are shown in the ones you made that lead over to the other circle. Exactly. Where you then make a circle. And when asked, so how did you make these ones you claim to have made over here that are so much more intricate and they have meaning to them? They're way more vast in distance as well. And then there's no footprints, no broken anything in between the circles, the lines, the designs. And you know what these two cocks said, don't you, Ronnie? They said that they pole vaulted. They pole vaulted. When they stuttered for a minute, they go, well, what we do there is we pole vault over to the next area and then make a circle.
You know you need a running start to do a
pole
vault?
and these two old white Englishmen were quoted as saying, you should have seen us soaring over the grain. What do you have to say about that?
would love to see it.
I don't believe it.
Can somebody do a reenactment?
So these guys did fake crop circles, but theirs were so rudimentary, so crude
bad.
is the point, right? And they are nothing like these intricate designs. I'm pitch it over back to you, Ronnie, about how certain things of how all different ways of how intricate these designs are, how fast are they put together, what are all the strange other things that most people actually don't know that go along with findings in intricate crop circles made
Exactly.
overnight.
So what they need to do is they have something called the bend test, right? You know, so like one of the main ways to tell if a crop formation is a hoax, or at least according to experts or anything like that, is to examine how the crops were bent, like you were saying earlier. Obvious hoaxes, you'll see they're just snapped down. You know,
they're snap broken.
Clumsily, stems broken.
Right.
However,
by a plank of wood.
By a plank of wood. But however, with the actual genuine formations, the crops are folded or bent, not snapped. The stems will still be intact, and the crops still good to harvest.
Yeah, and grow. That's right. They don't die.
Still grow, yes. And
what does die in the crop circles?
Yes. What dies in the crop circles are actually a lot of animals, but it's in a weird way. So, like flies, it has been known that they have found flies pretty much frozen in the position they were standing in when the circle was formed. Not only that, but birds will purposefully avoid these crop circles themselves. Small animals, mice, anything like that, are dead inside of these circles as well. I think in 2013 there was an instance where over 100 elk, which is not a small animal, were actually found dead in a field.
I didn't know about that.
Where the crop circle, where it was discovered nearby. So, like, testing suggested they had not died from disease or a virus, and the death actually still remains a mystery for those 100 elk.
Yeah, I bet they do. And you were saying that with the insects, you said frozen in place. So not crushed.
No, not crushed, not like
anything.
that.
And again,
it's as
like
if they
the
were
elk,
just standing there, and then they were just flash frozen
died.
dead.
Yeah. Flash frozen
and still
dead.
attached to the wheat, which can still be harvested.
Have you, there's a lot of very intricate things that go into this stuff, like I said, that I did not know before, really kind of, I heard about this a little bit that it's worth looking into.
I don't think it would be it'd be more of a flash freeze, just because the way they explain it is that the bend in the wheat is just like right before the first node, and has suggestions that it was created due to a quick blast of extremely high temperatures.
High temperatures, okay. And so that goes along with what I was going to say. Another thing that I've heard is that not only, like you mentioned, the crops are not snapped or dead, they're gently bent. And another thing that I heard that's interesting is crops that are laid down within crop circles intact, all of them also are proven to grow at a much more rapid pace from whatever kind of interference happened with them. They tend to grow at a rapid pace than all the other standing crops around them.
Correct, yeah. And there's a really cool thing about any kind of crops or plants or anything, where when exposed to certain frequencies or anything like that, it can help those crops to grow.
Yeah, isn't that...
They found that out
maybe
through classical
give you chills
music.
A little bit.
Yeah, so they found that part out through classical music.
Yes.
By playing Beethoven or Mozart to certain plants.
Human
and not
touch
others.
as well, yes?
Exactly.
Like stimuli of outside influence to them.
But if you take into consideration, like, hey, maybe... Oh, fuck it.
If you attach that which we found out to crop circles, it can kind of give you chills when you think about the implications of what could be making those.
Especially when you think of how the ships themselves fly, whether they fly on a frequency that just lets them float. You know, like not gravitational, not anything like that, but frequency.
And so, not to put you on the spot here, but you had given me another solid piece of information. I looked into this, and I have some stuff to offer as well, and I'm going to talk about it. But you actually found some very interesting things I had not even heard of, even more crazy things about crop circles. What was the man's name that you were telling me about, Ronnie? You told me that he found a universe system in a crop circle.
Oh, John Lundberg?
John Lundberg, that was it. Right?
Yeah, so in 2012, this was also in England, he found a formation called the Galaxy, is what it was. And it was an arrangement consisting of like 400 perfect circles over a 500-meter radius in the field, like 1,500 feet. And like a lot of people were saying, oh, he did it himself. But, obviously he denied it because given that there's 400 circles with each of a span of about 70 feet.
Right.
Every one of these circles would have to have been created every 30 seconds.
Which is impossible, you guys. You got to understand.
Yeah.
Because
unless he's the Flash.
Because